Alright, welcome back to another video. This video is a bit different, not going down the beach this time. Going to be working on Dad's new car. Give you a quick look around. He just bought it and yeah, we're already putting a few mods through it, so yeah. Just a GQ dual cab chop, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's just got pissy little 33s on it, pretty bold, so he wants to get a new set of them. Today we're going to be putting on new exhaust system. It's got a twin sooters at the back, but Dad wants to put a muffler through it so he doesn't get a yellow stick or anything silly. He's already started to sand it back. He wants to do a full Raptor coat over the whole thing, change the color, and he's already getting into that. We've got new injector pump from UFI, and yeah, new set of injectors to suit. We won't be doing this today, but that'll eventually go on his rooftop tent. And then he's got awning as well. That'd be sweet. But today, doing the injector pump. Already got the battery out, and I'm going to get stuck into that. And yeah, it should be fun. I've done a couple of these injector pumps, so I mean, shouldn't be too hard. Injectors I haven't done, but I think pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, oh yeah, I got gauges, 3 gauges to put in: water temp, boost, and EGT. So they're going to be running along the pillar up there. I'm going to try and wire them in today as well, but see how we go. Probably not, because pump takes a bit of time. So I'll just get stuck into that and show you guys how that goes. I can struggle. Yeah, I can't. Oh, got him. Alright, so basically I'm an idiot and I forgot to turn on my microphone. But anyway, do a little bit of a voiceover. I was just talking about this bolt here that goes straight through the bottom of the power steering pump. Basically you want to, unscrew that, take that out. Usually they're welded onto the bracket, but this one wasn't, so I don't know if it's been played with or not. Still having trouble, so yeah, forgot to undo the actual tensioner bolt. So finally figured that out. Got that off. Someone's also played with that because there's meant to be a tensioning screw through that little hole. That was missing, so yep, got that off. And then still having trouble, so the stupid earth lead that isn't even meant to be like that was in the way. So struggled with filming that. Had to edit a lot of that out. Finally got that off. And then, yeah, screw the bolt back in so I didn't lose anything. And then, yeah, finally got this power steering pump out the way. Struggled a lot with that. Don't know why. But, yep, still struggling. Yep. Oh, yeah. So now I can finally move it. Move it out of the way. Light falls over. Yep, life is great. And then here I'm just showing that you have to undo all 7 bolts, I think it is. Then you can finally, shove a screwdriver in there. And just showing the bolts there. And then shove a screwdriver in and pry off. And you want to actually make sure it hits the ground. So it's easier to pick up. Because, yeah, it's just easier. All right, now that we've taken off that front cover, I want to line up. I know it's going to be upside down, but I want to line that J or Z or whatever it is up with the 2 J or Zs on that main timing cog first before I pull it off. So you can either spin the motor with a 54 or 56 mil socket and a big bar and just move the motor, or you can just do what I do, jack up the back wheels, put it in 4th or 5th, and then just spin the back wheels, and then that will turn the motor and you just get it so they're both in line, and that way when you put the new pump on, just slide straight on and you don't have to stuff around with that sort of timing. So I'm going to do that now and then undo the injector lines. All right, finally got them lined up. Pretty hard to see, but there's two Z's on that cog and then 1 Z on that cog. That means it's all lined up. Now we can take that cog off and basically, yeah, undo everything, get the injector pump out and put the new one in. Forgot about this, but you got to get these 2 long bolts here. Got to actually go in. Is that the hole there? I don't know. Yeah, so you got to go in here. Yeah. Yeah, so you get 2 of these, and that actually pushes the cog off because, of course, when you tighten it, it you know, presses itself onto that shaft. So do that and you pop this thing off. That was pretty easy. Just popped off straight away. So main thing is you don't want to drop that keyway in there, wherever that is. I think it's up top. So that's that off. Put that there. Make sure that keyway's in. Yep, that's all good. There's a little keyway there. You don't want that dog falling in there, and then you basically have to take your sump off to fish it out. So, all right, now just Blue Dad. We've got to change these injectors anyway, so I might even just undo these fully. So usually I just crack these because why get my mics on? I filmed a clip before and the bloody microphone was off, and I was like, God. Said something funny as well, so I was like, bloody hell. Oh, it's a bit crusty actually. Usually I just crack these off so you get a bit more movement with the injector lines. But because we're fancy and we're doing injectors as well, I might just take them off completely. Oh, okay. Bit gross in there. Just with a GQ, man, you got to expect the worst. Yeah. Oh, don't you snap. All right. No injector pump on the motor anymore. Didn't have too much difficulty, but those injector lines actually came off easier than before in previous times, which was good. But I did run into one issue in the last clip we've seen. What I do? Yeah, I snapped that. Yeah. That line there is meant to be connected to that. And it's not anymore because I snapped it. So gonna have to order a new one of these rails. Basically the rail that loops between all the injectors. Gonna have to order a new one of them now because I snapped it. Yeah, I don't know if I could have prevented that. I could have held it while undoing it, but as soon as I started undoing it, it moved, and I reckon that would have cracked or snapped in the future anyway. So, yeah, oh well. Now I could probably change the injectors, do that, and then put the new pump in, I guess. Yeah. So here we have the new pump. Went with the UFI 230 horsepower 12 mil. That's their smallest 12 mil. I thought that'd be fine for Dad. Could have even gone just the 11 mil, but I thought it would be good to have that room if you wanted to go a bit more power. So that's the pump. Got the boost compensator on top, and then that's the old one. So yeah, the old 10 mil was a bit tight. It was leaking, so that was actually the initial wire as to when we got this. And yeah, it's come with a gasket, I think. Yeah, it's a gasket. Yeah. So, alrighty, I've got all the injectors out. That was a pain in the ass. Well, wasn't so bad because the rail that I was talking about, there is no way you can get the injectors out without damaging that rail because they were seized and you can't get a spanner on them. So I just sent it, got them out, and then I just buy a new rail. I think that's probably what most people do. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm just in the other shed with the vise, getting all the top nuts off, sorry. And then they only give you that, so the rail goes between there and then the nut on top. I'm just getting that nut off the top of them. And we can't really do anything anyway because I need to order that rail and wait for that to come in now. So I don't know, hopefully I'll ring up UFI and hopefully they have a couple laying around or something. I'm suspecting they do because they do this all the time. So, and then yeah, I'll do that and then get the pump on ready to start up in time. And yeah, and then probably move on to doing the gauges or maybe the exhaust. Probably the gauges because I can do the gauges, Dad can do the exhaust tomorrow or something. So yeah. So another bloody voiceover because someone forgot to hit go on the microphone. But yeah, I was just showing you guys how I had to sit on top of the bloody where the battery is just to get those copper washers out because they were a pain in the bum. But eventually got them out. Yeah, I just keep on saying that's just me. I'm watching this while I'm editing and it's the worst. Finally got the injector washers out. 6 big ones, 6 little ones, and then I got those nuts off like I was saying. Yeah, that was a prick. I actually had to sit in the bay and gently tap the washers with a screwdriver and then that sort of release them and then pull them out very gently, but never done that before. So now I've just got to clean up where the injectors screw in, just a little bit of dirt in there, so clean that up somehow, probably just, I don't know, probably vacuum or like pressure, high pressure air. Injectors are all in. New washers and everything. Can't do anything with that until we get the new spill rail, new gasket for the injector pump, but I've just tried to pull off the old gasket and it's literally stuck itself on there, so I've got to get myself a razor blade or Stanley blade and scrape it clean off. I've got little bits like this. Honestly, should have just left it, but now I've opened that can of worms, so I've got to scrape all that shit off, put the new one on, and we can finally put the new injector pump on. This must be a GQ because I do go at that thing with this for like 10 minutes. That gasket was one with the metal, so that's some bullshit. So now that I've obviously taken the paint off, give her a bit of a coat, and then I can finally put it on. Spent like half an hour changing all those bits over. Pain in the ass. Everything's so tight when it's on there because it's never ever been undone before from like the factory and stuff. So just so tight. Yeah, had to get this even down to this wire. You have to change that wire over. The throttle linkage thing, or not linkage, but that's where your throttle cable runs through. Your mount at the bottom. Yeah, just fiddly stuff. So now I can finally chuck it in. Just noticed something else as I was putting on this gasket. Definitely a GQ engine mount, just finger tight. Probably all the fuel that was leaking out just loosened off that nut, just lubed it up, and yeah, that might not be as rattly, so tighten that up. Alrighty, so the pump's in, look at it all shiny. If we can get that, bear with me guys. Yep, cogs on, timed up, all nice. But I've sort of hit a roadblock because I snapped that spill rail and stuff that. I can't really do anything because to put the injector lines on the back of the pump, you want everything loose because you need a lot of room to play. It's kind of hard to explain, but I've done these before, so don't really want to do anything there. So I'm basically just going to leave it, and when I get the spill rail, I'll put that on, and then yeah, basically finish up because yeah, you can't do anything without that, obviously. And yeah, because that's a part I need to order or ring up and get from somewhere, I'll probably just do the gauges tomorrow and help Dad do his exhaust, and then yeah, go from there. Back with day 2. Dad's already instructed me to put some gasket goo on this front plate that goes on front of the timing cover. So I'll do that while he starts on the exhaust. I've just done a light sort of circle around there. That's plenty. People smother it, but that's plenty. Just to give it some sort of sealing surface, because oil does flick up a little bit. So chuck this on, and then pretty much
as I was saying yesterday, hit a roadblock, so can't really do much until that spill rail gets in, put the injector lines on and get it closer and closer to starting up and timing and stuff. So today will just be me doing the gauges and then Dad slowly taking the old exhaust off and yeah, putting the new one on. Probably take the dump pipe off to drill a hole in it, put a bung in, and then we can put the EGT probe in. Got the dump pipe here, I need to drill a hole in it. I've already started. So I can weld this on. And that'll be our bung for our EGT. So getting that sorted. It's through. All right, finally. Crocs are lovely.
Alright, another voiceover because the microphone just turned off. But anyway, I was saying finally when I tacked on that bung because I was just having all the trouble in the world with the welder. It just wasn't working for me. I was getting frustrated, but finally got there in the end. But yeah, got some pretty good welds on this thing. Pretty happy with it. Shouldn't leak or anything, so that's all good. And yeah, gasless MIG does a good job. Should be able to hold.
Alright, just finish welding her up. It's not the prettiest, but it'll do. The old gasless MIG. Hang on. Yeah, that'll go on there. That'll screw in. And then set that probe about there and all good. Alright, just starting on the gauges now. It's a bit daunting at first, but you basically got to connect. I'm going to connect all the gauges together and then have all the wires come out as one here. Sort of slowly tick away at it. Dad's doing the exhaust now and got the old one off. It's all good. And yeah, what do we got? Got that all welded on and painted. That's ready to go. Now we just got to adapt this dump pipe to the new exhaust. Just soldering the pyro gauge wires together. I don't know why they don't do this from factory, but something you got to do. Ah! Give me the sweatiest connection I've ever done. Next up, I've got to take out the air box just so we can drill and tap the thermostat housing. Then we can put our water temp sensor in. So yeah, that's next on the cards.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking mud water. And boys. All right, we've just put the wires, ran the wires through the gauges. Now we're just trying to find a ignition source. Just gonna tap into one of these, a bit easier, and then for the gauge light, we're gonna get a wire from this harness here because that powers that, I reckon. So get the multimeter out and try find that. Just all the fiddly jobs. All right, that'll wrap up today. We've got the exhaust done. Well, most of it done. We need to do the dump pipe, complete that section. We've put on the tailpipe, mid pipe. We just got to connect up the dump, the rest of the exhaust. We got to make our own little adapter piece. We need to go to the shop and get a flange, 3-bolt, 3-inch flange. So we'll do that tomorrow. Got the gauges hooked up. That was real fiddly. Had to stuff around with that. I'll just show you what that looks like. Oh. Hang on. All right, take 2. So boom. Hook them up. Looking pretty good. Yeah, just got the pyros up top. With mine, I've got the pyros down the bottom, boost up top, water temp in the middle. And I've been thinking, I think pyro is most important, so we'll put that up top, right in your face. Boost it's important, but it's not needed all the time. So put that down the bottom and then water in the middle. That'll be sweet. Yeah, that's what it looks like. There. Keep on plodding away. Nothing happens overnight. It all takes time to do these things. But yeah, we've got a list. Got to buy a couple things. So once we hopefully United Fuel Injection has one of those rails, I can get one and in a couple of days, and then finish up this fuel pump, and then actually get her running again, and then yeah, go from there. I reckon I'll end this video here. If you guys liked it, like the video, whatever, do all that crap. And yeah, obviously I'll put a part 2 up of her running and show that whole process. Yeah, cheers guys.